Years of
This
experience
conference
in
will
EWM.
now be
Uh,
recorded.
I am providing EWM training from the last say 4 years. I am providing individual as well as corporate trainings as well. So can I request you guys to just introduce yourself and about your SAP exposure and what's your expectation from the training sessions? Maybe we can start with Suresh.
Hi, Ashish. My name is Suresh. Working as a SAP development total experience in past 7 years. Uh, I want to learn EWM too. Uh, Currently, in our company, we're using EWM and they're planning to move to EWM. So before that, I have to learn that. Just to learn in EWM.
Okay, thank you, Suresh. Shri Hari, can you go ahead, please?
Yeah, hi Ashish, my name is Sri Hari. I have total 3.5 years experience in SAP MM, and recently I joined one of the company. In there, they took me as a EWM consultant, and there lot of customization is there in the project. So I don't know anything about the EWM. So I thought to first learn the standard one EWM so that I can learn customization. So that's the reason I'm planning to join EWM.
Okay, thank you, Shri Hari. Hello, Yadvinder. Yadvinder, you are coming from Sangeeta, right?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Yadvinder. Can you
I'm
please
audible?
introduce yourself? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, myself,
You're audible.
myself Yadvinder. I'm associated with Marico Limited. It's a FMCG company. I have total experience of 10 years in supply chain domain. The last 2 years, so we have implemented SAP EWM and ASRS in our new plant. So I have go through this all three blueprint, negative testing, and UAT, and we have successfully implemented the EWM ASRS and commercially update the same, and same is not function last 1.5 year. So I just enhance the knowledge. Just want to enhance the knowledge in EWM ASRS to like to be a career in EWM from the functional consultant point of view.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. So we can start the demo, and we will be having a short presentation, and then we will go through the course content, what we are going to see in the sessions, and then I will show you basic process of EWM in the system. Okay. So let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yes, you can see.
Yes.
Okay, so as you guys already know that SAP has provided the WM application, but again the SAP came up with the EWM application. And what is the need for that? Because SAP WM could not support several business processes, and the client had no option but to go with the development, heavy enhancements, right? And for all those business processes, EWM is the option. EWM offers several more functionalities as compared to WM, or you can say WM is just the 10% of what we have in the EWM. So in the complex warehouses where we have the fast moving products, right, we have more packaging and shipping requirements. EWM is the solution for all their warehousing processes. Okay, so okay, one more thing. At any point of time, if you have any question, just feel free to stop me there and raise your point. Okay. So this is the basic organization process which we all understand. We receive the raw material from the vendor. For example, if we talk about any industry, say dairy company, we receive the raw material milk from the vendor, which we store it in our warehouse. From there, we issue it for the production of cheese products, where we post the consumption of milk, and then we ship the cheese products to the customer. So you can see that EWM is having integration with the MM, that is the inbound process. It has the integration with the PP, that is the production process, and it has the integration with SD as well, which is the outbound process. Now this is the organization structure when we talk about the IM level, where we are managing the inventory at the storage location level. But when we have a regular WM implemented, the plant and storage location combination are linked with the warehouse, that is the WM warehouse. And then when we have the EWM, then this WM warehouse is further linked to the EWM warehouse. So in S4 HANA as well, you have an option to continue with WM application again only till 2025, because SAP is going to sunset the WM in 2025, and then they will stop supporting you in the SAP WM, and all will be EWM post that. So there is a high demand of EWM, and everybody wanted to migrate from WM to EWM, and no new implementation is coming for the WM. All the implementations requires you EWM. So when we have the EWM here, you can see here the WM warehouse E00 is just a bridge between your ERP and EWM. If you are doing the WM, then all the configurations you need to do in the WM E00. But if you are doing EWM, you still need to create E00 in the system. And this is just a bridge between your plant storage location and the EWM system. All the configurations will be done in the EWM. Any questions so far?
Yeah, Ashish, Suresh here. I think we'll do configuration storage types in ECC also, right? All configuration will do first in ECC, then we'll do the migrate to EWM, right?
No, when we have the EWM, right, then we simply create the WM warehouse number E00 to link the plant and storage location, and this WM warehouse E00 will be further linked to E100 warehouse, and all the configurations of EWM organization structure will be done in the EWM only. In the S4 HANA, we have the EWM embedded. There is no ECC, so there is only one system, but we have a separate configuration node for EWM, and we will be doing our training in the S4 HANA embedded EWM only. Okay, so this is the organization structure in the EWM. If you are managing at the IM level, then the inventory will be stored in the storage location. Say you have 100 units available in the storage location, but when we have the WM implemented, the 100 units will be divided across the bins. You can have 50-50 in 2 bins, or you can have 25-25 in 4 bins, or you can have 30-20, 30-40 like that. So the warehouse is further divided into storage types, which are further divided into storage section, and then the bin is the last spot where your products are stored. Quant is just the characteristics of the material. It will generate internally and it will get deleted internally. So the difference between WM and EWM, if we talk about, in WM we don't have the activity area. The activity area is the grouping of storage bins based on the activities which you are going to perform in the bin. And also the concept of quant is different in the WM. I mean the configuration for the quant, and it is different in the EWM. So throughout the course, I will give you the difference between WM and the EWM, and S4 HANA EWM versus non-S4 EWM. Okay, so this is our warehouse structure. When we receive the raw materials, say for example the milk, the truck containing the milk containers will be standing at the door. From the door, it will be doing the unloading in the staging area, which is a place near to the door where the truck is standing. And in the simple process, you will move the product from staging area to the bins. Similarly, in the outbound, you pick from the bin based on your picking strategies, move it in the staging area, and here the truck is standing at the door outbound where you will load the products. That is the simple process of inbound and outbound. But we have the complex process as well, where, for example, the vendor is shipping the big containers and our warehouse bins are bit small. So we need to split the containers in the workstation, that is a deconsolidation. It is also possible that the vendor is shipping 2 products in one cartoon, and based on our storage strategies, we want the 2 products to go into 2 different bins. So again, we need to split the cartoon into 2 small cartoons in the workstation, that is a deconsolidation. Similarly, in the outbound, we have a packing station. If a customer is having a special packing requirement, then we will move it in the packing station. Any questions?
No.
Okay. And you have an option to club or link the door and the staging area together. So for example, if you are having a hazardous material, you would like to handle it separately so that you can tie the door and the staging area together, so that whenever the product is received or shipped, a particular door and staging area will be determined, so that it will be handled differently from your regular products. And even the work center is having a same structure: storage type, storage section, and storage bin, because EWM and WM are all about bin to bin movement. This is the basic inbound process. We create the purchase order in the ERP, create the inbound delivery in ERP, and distribute the inbound delivery in the EWM. Even in the S4, it is still calling the RFC connection. So it is generating another inbound delivery in the EWM, which has the EWM specific attributes. The inbound delivery notification, it is no more there in S4HANA. It was there in the non-S4 system, which was the replica of ECC inbound delivery. But in the S4, we have purchase order, inbound delivery, and then another inbound delivery in the EWM. And what is the purpose of another inbound delivery? For example, we have the document type EL here in the regular inbound delivery. We have the document type INB in the EWM. In ERP, we have the movement type 101. In EWM, we have a process type, warehouse process type 1010. Here we have the stock type as unrestricted, but here we have the availability group. So inbound delivery of EWM is having EWM specific parameters. Similarly, in the outbound, we have the sales order outbound delivery in the ERP side, and we have the outbound delivery order created in the EWM. The outbound delivery request is again no more there in S4HANA. Okay, so now when we have the inbound delivery and outbound delivery order in EWM, what next? These are called as the inbound delivery and outbound delivery order are also called as a warehouse request. That means these are the requests to the warehouse to execute certain functions. What functions? In the inbound, it is put away into the destination bin, and in the outbound, it is picking from the source bin and put away in the staging area outbound. And that will be created through the warehouse task. So in WM application, we have the transfer order. The transfer order you can relate with the warehouse task. What you want to move, where you want to move, how many units you want to move, from where you want to pick, from where you want to put away. All those informations will be there in the warehouse task. Any questions?
Okay. If have the outbound delivery, we'll start once create the outbound delivery, WM task will be start for PO creation and confirmation. we'll do it in EWM, it will again it's transferred to ECC to do the WM task to confirmation TOs.
Okay, so we don't have TO here. In the EWM, we have the warehouse task. So it is still calling the RFC connection. In the S4HANA, we have embedded. So we will be doing that in the same system. But once we confirm the PGI in the EWM, it will call the RFC connection and update the outbound delivery in your ERP.
Okay.
If the EWM is there, then in the ERP side, that is ECC side, you just need to create the PO and inbound delivery. That's it. In the outbound, you create the SO and outbound delivery. That's it. All the other processes you are going to do in the EWM. And once you complete that in the EWM, it will send the message to the ERP and the goods movement indicator will be updated in inbound or outbound delivery. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So all these warehouse tasks are linked with the warehouse order. So in WM application, we don't have the concept of warehouse order. It is a brand new introduced in EWM only. That is the work package given to the employee. So if I am getting the first warehouse order, I am responsible to execute all the warehouse tasks which are linked to the order. It is a kind of pick ticket. You assign the warehouse order to the employee and the picker, or in the good receipt office, the employee is responsible to execute all the warehouse tasks which are linked to the order. And the warehouse orders are created based on the warehouse order creation rules, where we have different filters. Then again, we have the wave management and two-step picking. So if the multiple deliveries are going in a same truck, or the same product is going into the different truck at the same time, then you would prefer to pick the product in a group, pick the deliveries in a group rather than individual deliveries. That will be covered in the wave management. Then we have the data transfer method. In the non-S4, we had the SIF interface, core interface, which was used to transfer the master data. But in the S4, we don't have SIF interface, as it is embedded in the same box. Okay, then we have the WPT, warehouse process type, which is you can correlate with the movement type in the ECC ERP. Then the packaging specification, how you want to pack the products, that will be defined in your packaging specification. And accordingly, system will automatically create the handling units in the EWM. Then we have the yard management, which is about truck movement. If you have 3 doors and 5 trucks are coming at a time, then how you want to manage the truck? 3 trucks will be standing at the door for loading and unloading, and the 2 trucks will be waiting in a parking space. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. So I will show you the course content. Sorry, this is for the corporate. Okay, so we will, when we start the training sessions, we will start with the basic processes of EWM, right? And we will set up a brand new warehouse. If you refer this, so we will start from creating the storage locations. Plant we cannot create because it requires setup from the FI side and other modules as well. We will create a new storage location. We will create this warehouse. We will create another warehouse, EWM warehouse, and we will set up everything in the warehouse which we are going to create right from scratch. Okay, we will create all these organization elements, all the configuration master data which is required in our warehouse. Okay. Then we will do the basic inbound and outbound process without HU, and then we will set up the handling units and do the basic inbound and outbound process with HU. So once you are comfortable up to this point, the entire course we have divided into 3 parts: level 1 difficulty, level 2 difficulty, and level 3 difficulty. So once you are comfortable with the level 1 course contents, I mean, you can get all the recordings, and looking at that, you can create your own warehouse. You will get the server access. So once you are comfortable in the level 1, then we will move on to the level 2, which is packaging specification, how you want to pack the products, and replenishment, stock transfer, posting change, physical inventory, and you can say wave management. After that, we will go to the level 3, that is you can say a bit complex, which is warehouse order creation rules, your layout oriented and process oriented storage control. So that we have seen here, that if the products are going in the workstation, that it is a process oriented, and for example, you don't have the direct put away. You receive a product or cartoon from the vendor, and you can go to a certain extent, and then you can put the cartoon in a conveyor. So you can see this is not a direct straightforward put away. Multiple resources are involved, so that will be the layout oriented storage control. Then we have the replenishment, physical inventory, and stock within WM, posting change, and the stock transfer. And once you are comfortable till this point, then we will move on to the post-processing framework, which is the action determination. In ECC ERP, you have the output determination, which we can configure through NES. In WM as well, we have the output type for the transfer order, but in the EWM, we don't have any output type, we have the actions. Then we have yard management. We have cross-docking, where we are moving the product from good receipt side to the goods issue side directly without putting it in the warehouse. And then we can set up the RFUI, where we have the resource management, queue management, and we will run the inbound process, outbound process in the RF. So let me know if you have any questions in the course content. Sorry, I cannot hear you. Hello?
I'm audible?
It's breaking a lot, and background noise is there.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please tell me.
I'm audible?
Yes, it's hard to hear, but still you can raise your question.
So it's a totally S4 HANA embedded. So currently what the course content you are showing, it's
Yes,
a integrated model, S4 HANA.
correct.
Okay.
Is there any differences between the S4 HANA and the normal EWM configuration part wise?
So there are certain differences which I have given you the brief idea here. We don't have the inbound delivery notification. We don't have outbound delivery request, right? And we don't have the core interface in the S4HANA. S4HANA is a bit simplified. And throughout the course, I will let you know the difference between the S4 and the non-S4 system.
How much percentage it will be the difference configuration part wise?
No, in configuration part, there is a little to no difference, but in the process standpoint, you have some differences.
Okay.
So any questions in the course content? And I am providing corporate training as well. So if you just want to see the course content for the corporate, it is just elaborated. The same course content is elaborated as per the day wise. So the same thing we are going to do in our trainings. Because 15 to 20 people are joining in the corporate, and we are getting several 15 to 20 servers, and everybody will be doing in parallel. So that is a bit time consuming. The same thing we are going to do in our course. I will just show you the basic inbound process. So we create the purchase order, as you already know. With reference to purchase order, we create the inbound delivery. In the inbound delivery, here you will see that you have the WM warehouse called, because this plant and storage location are linked with the WM warehouse EW1, and this EW1 is further linked with the EWM warehouse. So you can see this delivery distributed in the WMS. Now we will open the EWM transaction, which starts with SCWM PRDI. And here we have the EWM warehouse EW1 linked with EWM1. So when we enter our inbound delivery here, you could see the same number is generated and new inbound delivery is created in the EWM. This is a bit slow today.
It's an integrated model. We don't require to log in on the other system of EWM to run this PRDI and PRDO transaction code.
No, this is the embedded system, because in S4HANA you have the EWM available in the embedded.
Okay.
So nowadays all the implementations are going on in the S4HANA, and that is why we are doing the training in the latest technology. So here you can see in this inbound delivery, you have the warehouse process type, which is for kind of movement type. You have the stock type, which is F1, kind of unrestricted, right? And all the EWM specific parameters. With reference to this inbound delivery, we create the warehouse task. Okay, so this inbound delivery is also called as a warehouse request. And as soon as you create the warehouse task, it will automatically create the warehouse order based on warehouse order creation rules. Right, and you have an option to create the HU automatically, to split the warehouse task based on the pallet size. So you have two warehouse tasks created here. And then we go into the warehouse task and warehouse order. You can see this is warehouse order created using the warehouse order creation rule CS01, and we have two warehouse tasks. First is full pallet, right? Because if you can accommodate only 48 units in one cartoon, this is one warehouse task, and the remaining will be partial in the second warehouse task. So you have an option to confirm each one, or you can confirm.
So in this case, we have to put some criteria for how much boxes we can store on a
I,
particular handling unit.
sorry, I cannot hear you. There is a lot of disturbance.
So in this case, we have to create a master. How much cases we can store on a particular handling unit.
Correct. So that will be done through the packaging specification. In the
Okay, in case
packaging specification, we will define for in a particular packaging material, say cartoon, how many units you want to store,
so
and we need to
in some
maintain the condition record.
okay, or in some cases, we have received a material the first time in the warehouse, and we don't know how much quantity. In some of the case, we have received a material first time in our warehouse, and we don't know how much cases we can store. And for checking the same, we have to first put the number of carton in the box to check how many cartons.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. How many cartons?
So in case we have received any material the first time in the warehouse,
Okay.
and practically we don't know how much carton we can store on the handling unit dimension
Okay.
wise.
Mm-hmm.
So before creating a IBD, we have to setting this rule in the system. So how we can do that? Because um, before putting these boxes on the handling unit, we are not in a position to confirm that 10 or 12 or 15 boxes can be stored on a particular unit, a particular handling unit.
No. So if you are receiving something from the vendor, right? Then you know it, right? What the vendor is going to send, and you have an option to do the manual packing. Because if system doesn't know, then the only option is do the manual packing.
So in
System
current
will only do
scenario,
the, yeah.
so in my current the EWM what we have implemented last year here. So what kind of any kind of metal what we have received here, we did not give any specification in the system. So as and when we are unloading the metal in the pallet, we are confirming that 10 boxes has been unloaded on this particular handling unit. Then again 10, again 10, again 10, and these are the system will create a task automatically after unloading this.
Correct. So system will create the task automatically through the PPF action.
Yeah.
Right.
So both this, you can say capacity is available in the S4 HANA too.
Yes.
So
Okay. Any questions, Suresh?
No, Ashish.
And Srihari, any questions?
No, Ashish.
Okay. So if you have no questions, then we can wind up the demo. Okay. So to your point, Suresh and Srihari, you wanted to understand the basics of the EWM, right? So again,
Yes,
if you
yes.
go through the training, then you will understand all the configuration elements, everything, right?
Mm.
You will get the server, 2-month server, and you can set up your own warehouse in the server. And every session, we will start with Q&A. So whatever questions you have, or if you are stuck anywhere while setting up the warehouse in any configuration, then I will resolve those errors first, right? Make you comfortable till that point, and then we can proceed further in the next topic.
Okay. Uh, you are providing the servers, right? It's a both servers, right? ECS and EW in one
No,
system.
we are doing the training in S4 HANA system, so we will be getting S4 system only. So S4 HANA is having embedded EWM. So all the
Okay.
transactions we are doing in one system only.
Okay, fine.
Course duration?
So duration will be around 40 hours. But again, it depends upon the participation. It could go up to 43, 44, or it could end in 37, 38 hours.
The weekend batch.
Yes, so that I mean, based on the availability, we can finalize because I am available weekdays morning and also I am available weekend morning.
Because I have another schedules for weekdays.
Okay, so you can work with
So I'm
Pallavi
planning
on that.
to weekends.
Okay, so we can do at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so 8 to 10 we can do on a weekend.
Okay.
Okay, so you can anytime you can connect with me, right? Whenever you have any questions before even before the enrollment, if you have any questions pertaining to course content, duration, or any other clarification you want, you can just reach out to Pallavi. And
Okay.
Srihari, you can also reach out to Pallavi and you can connect with me. And Yadvinder, you can reach out to Sangeeta and Sangeeta will conference with me.
So particular this session start from this month or what about?
Sorry?
A particular session is planned. This session is going to be started this month or after Diwali?
No, so whenever the enrollments are done, whenever you guys are comfortable, we can start the session. And again, in one batch, I never accommodate more than 3 to 4 candidates. So if you are comfortable, then we can start from the coming Saturday only. And if you want to wait post Diwali, then you can just communicate with Sangeeta or Pallavi on that.
So time will be in the morning 8 to 10 or what is that? Because I have to travel to my office from in the morning. I have to pick the bus from 8:30 and will reach at my home at 7:30.
But we will be doing on weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday is working for me. So Sunday is the only option for me.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we can work on the timings, right? Based on the availability. We can schedule based on the, I mean, the comfort level and the availability of everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Yadvinder, you can communicate your available time to Sangeeta, and Suresh and Srihari, you can communicate with Pallavi.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And feel free to reach out to me through Pallavi or Sangeeta whenever you have any confusion, any questions, or you need any clarifications. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay, then. Shall we stop then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Let us close the call. Thanks a lot. Okay, Pallavi, we are done. You can stop the recording and we can close the call.